What's up, guys? Welcome back to another video. I'm James. This is the Stooge SuperSpine, and today we're going to go on an adventure, a race adventure. So first and foremost, before we even really get into the details about what this board is, about how fast it can go, its range, what it's really meant for, I'm gonna go ahead and start this video off with a massive thanks to Brian, the owner of Mad E-Skate. If it wasn't for him, this adventure, this board, the journey that I'm about to take you guys on would not have been possible. So, all right, so there are a couple of things to go over before we even really get into this board. You can buy this board fully assembled from Mo at Stooge Raceboards. You're gonna have to contact Mo. It is not free. Of course, there is a fee for it. If you are not DIY capable, I would say to make sure that you can find somebody that can help you out when it comes to building this board. Because when you buy this board, you just get the deck, you get the enclosure, and you get the 3 links by Stooge Raceboards. You have to buy the wheels, you have to buy the hubs, you have to buy gears, the motors, you got to buy the battery, you got to figure out what you want to do for ESCs. Like, it is pretty much an entire build. I am going to be running an 8S LiPo pack. You can run a 4S, a 4S, a 6S, 8S, or 12S. So you can run up to 12S on this ESC setup. This is a hobby wing setup. This is not your traditional setup that you would find on a regular board. This is actually meant for RC cars. So it's a little bit different. You would think only 12S? That's not going to get going very fast. There you're wrong. This is a Stooge Raceboards setup. This is not a belt drive. This is a technically open gear on gear drive setup. All right, so there are 3 things to talk about with this board: batteries, ESCs, motors. The batteries, let's get into that. So with my batteries, I went ahead and I bought 4 of the 9500 milliamp hour 120C 4S LiPo packs from HRB. You can find these on eBay. You can find them at a couple other places, but I went ahead and went through a trusted buyer on eBay that quite a few people have already bought from. I bought from, and they shipped fast. They arrived in beautiful condition. I did have to end up putting these AS150 connectors on the batteries, which was not very hard, but I pretty much had to build everything. I had to build the bus connector that connects the batteries to the ESC. I had to mount all the pulleys on. I had to mount the hubs on. I had to mount the ESCs to the deck. There was a lot involved in building up Wildcard, but I really think that it was going to be worth it. All right, now on to the ESCs. These ESCs are from Hobby Wing. These are single ESCs, so one ESC powers 1 motor. This is the Max 4 combo, so it is 2 single ESCs with 2 motors. These ESCs are capable of pushing anywhere from 300 amps to 2000 amps. That is a lot. These are 7125 motors by Hobby Wing. They're bigger than honestly anything that you're going to find in our scene right now. So this being an RC setup with the motors and the ESCs, you want to make sure that you pay attention to your gear reduction. Being an RC setup, you want to make sure that you run 6.0 or 7.0. You want to run a higher number so that you don't overheat these motors. These are 560 kV motors, so there's a lot that you really have to pay attention to when you're building this build up. Now, even when I have this setup right here with a 6.9 to 1 gear ratio, which means it's going to be extremely torquey, this board will do 50 miles an hour. So not only will it do 50 miles an hour, it'll do 0 to 50 in, I don't know, we might test it. So this is actually going to be a two-part video, guys. I'm going to drop how I got the board, how the board was assembled, and what it was assembled with, and then I'm actually getting ready to go to California here in a couple days. So when you're guys watching this video, actually the Cali will be from the future into the past. It'll all come together and it'll make a two-part video. Joe are taking off to California, and I'm going to program the ESCs there, calibrate the remote, and then get on the board at an intro to speed. It's going to be fun. I'm very excited. As you can see, minimal clearance. So you don't really want to be riding this setup just like this on roads, because it's going to be a bad day. So these are the BRP wheels by Stooge Raceboards. These are not pneumatic wheels. This is a rim that has got rubber attached to it, and inside has styrofoam, so there is no air pressure. So these motors are so massive that the only way you can mount them on this board is if you stagger them. Shout out to Mo for bending this rod while it was in his shop. So when I originally received the SuperSpine, the motor mounts that I had were not the right motor mounts, so I had to send my mounts into Mo. Once again, another shout out to Mo at Stooge Raceboards. He sent me the right motor mounts and bent my rod so that I didn't have to have a bent motor mount to accommodate for a straight rod. Now it's pretty. Now we have got the MBS foot strap on there. I've got it screwed through the deck so that it mounts on the bottom, screws, nuts. That way I can run maximum power and not have to worry about getting ejected from the board. It also helps with max leverage for cornering. Grip tape design by yours truly. And I think UPS is here. Funny story, everybody knows how I feel about concave and love humps. I am not the biggest fan of them, so I actually took a sander and took a little bit of this W concave out of the middle of the deck, aka the love hump. I sanded it down to the width of my shoe and the length of my shoe, made it a little bit flatter so that my foot actually sits into the pocket. I like it a lot better now. All right, let's go ahead and talk about my third favorite part of this entire process, building the charging system. So usually when you buy an electric skateboard, the charger comes pre-built in the box. You don't even think twice about it. Well, I went ahead, I had to think more than twice about this. So I had to build this entire charging system. I mean, not literally, I bought this LiPo charger. I went ahead and bought the power inverter. I bought all the wire, all the connectors and everything. And then I went ahead and built from the power inverter to the charger, then from the chargers to connectors that went ahead and plugged into the batteries. Everything is soldered together, heat shrinked. It is not extremely pretty. Well, this part of the project extremely sucked. I went ahead and made the bus connector backwards. What is circled in white needed to be replaced with what was highlighted in yellow. So basically what I had done is I switched the 6 gauge for the 8 gauge and the 8 gauge for the 6 gauge. I didn't follow through with all my D&D, my due diligence and understanding what was what. Just kind of watched the video once and then made it. And thanks to Don Juan, he spotted this as soon as I sent him the picture. He said, "Hey kid, you did it wrong, swap all those." So what I did instead of swapping everything was basically what's highlighted in yellow just got swapped with what is circled in white. So now everything in my entire system is 6 gauge. All right, let's go ahead and get into this remote. So this is a Radiomaster MT12 remote. This is not your regular electric skateboard remote. This is actually meant for RC cars, RC boats, RC drones. This is a multifunctional surface air remote, so it can be used for a wide variety of things. It also runs on Express LRS, which means that this remote can connect extremely fast and send signals back and forth extremely fast so that you don't really have any interruptions. It's quick response. So yes, this remote does come with a wheel because it is meant to be used with RC cars and boats and drones and all sorts of other things. But you can take this wheel off. Now, if you're left-handed, you might not need to, but if you're right-handed, it will not fit. Now this is the end product that I ended up printing this in pt.1. The CF stands for carbon fiber, so this should be very strong. So now, of course, nothing against purple. It is the color of the filament that I had, but I ended up painting my red. So this cover covers the hole that is in the remote once you take off the steering wheel. All right, guys, I'm James. Thanks for watching my channel. Thanks for watching this video on the Stooge SuperSpine. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. If you got any questions, leave them down in the comments. Make sure that you hit that like button down there if you found any of this content useful at all. Hey, and if you want to, go ahead and subscribe. That way you can know when my next video is dropping. Appreciate you guys. Thank you.